Hey, everybody, and welcome to Hammered and Cheese, episode number 5. We are making quiche. Cole, what's happening? How you doing, buddy?
Not much, man. Does quiche go good with vodka?
It's gonna today. It is going to today. What is your drink of choice for the day, Cole?
Well, right now this is just lemonade and blue carousel and vodka. We're gonna make something a little fancier here in a little bit.
Okay, so people understand, okay, this is something you have to learn is that when you're in the heat of the kitchen, you just need something in a cup to satisfy your thing. But as we go later, we'll have some time and we will show how you can make a fancy drink because Cole isn't just a chef, he's also a bartender. He can run an
Mixologist.
entire
I have a license.
restaurant. A mixologist. Let's calm down. Listen. It's gonna maybe you should go into politics with that kind of
I call this liquid calm.
It sounded a lot like something else. So when we started the show, we had meatloaf, which turned out fantastic. We had the French toaster, also fantastic. And then we went with the garlic bread. No, it was the
Brie and garlic bread.
baked brie and garlic bread. That was the word I was looking for. And then yesterday, I was able to sample the buffalo mac and cheese, which was delicious.
We need to hire a photographer.
Well, listen, that's not a fault. That's true. We definitely need that as well.
We need to fire the other guy for sure.
Well, listen, we're not that good, but realistically,
Well, we're letting a drunk guy take the picture. That's the problem.
I was sober and it still didn't come out that great, so that's fine. But this is what happened this week, guys. We were talking and we were trying to figure out ideas, and we had landed on one meal, which then we started talking and it started just snowballing into something else. So we landed on quiche because Cole said he had never made one before, and I do have a couple recipes for a good quiche. Quiche doesn't have to be that hard either. So let's just start there. A lot of times, and to clear up any misunderstanding, a quiche is technically like a souffle, but it's not like a souffle. It's
Yeah,
not.
I always thought it was a souffle. I didn't know it wasn't.
Well, whenever you put eggs into a thing, you just be like, "Is that a souffle?" Because you're like, "Yeah." So there are frittatas, quiches, omelets, souffle.
I've never made any of those. So
we will. And that's the best part about this show. So let's see. Quiche. My wife has spelled
that
it.
looks like another word.
Well, it does. But hey, it's going to quiche is going to be delicious. So we start off. I'll give you a little breakdown with regards to how this works. Now, when you're talking about quiche, a lot of the stuff we've already prepared, and so we maintain the magic of things as well. We're going to show the components how they work, and everything's going to work out fine. So basically, what a quiche is essentially, think about it as if it's pie for every meal. Okay, so it's not just dessert; you have it for the main too. There.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about quiche is like you can almost eat it for any time of the day. It's like it could be breakfast, it could be lunch, it could be dinner.
You really can. It's very versatile, and the best part is, like, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you have to put this stuff in." You know, you can put whatever you want, right? You can just make it leftovers. Essentially, what you're doing is you're making it an omelet for on the go. You just grab a slice and off you go.
I'm big on trash can meals. Like that's a terrible name for it, but I love just like what do we have left over? Throw it in there. Fuck it.
Throw it in. Listen, and that's the best part. Like, so something I always recommend to people, and especially growing up and trying to figure out, like, I loved cooking, and the first time I said, "Hey, mom, how do you make that?" She's like, "I'll make it for you." I'm like, "No. I need you to explain to me how you make it." She's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because I want to learn how to cook." She's like, "Absolutely not. That's not going to happen."
That's what my mom was with laundry.
Why does Cole look like Tommy Lee Jones in Under Siege? We all aspire to look like Tommy Lee Jones in Under Siege, sir. If you've seen that, that is a Oscar-nominated movie.
I was kind of going for like Karate Kid 2.
Oh no, you're definitely Tommy Lee Jones. That's fine. But that's the whole idea. So as you learn to cook, some of the things that you can get away with, like things like when we did the original baked brie and garlic bread, was we used Pillsbury. It wasn't Pillsbury, but they were the ready-made croissant rolls,
We
right?
almost used those today. I'm
Which
honest.
which is fine too, right? Under Siege is a great movie. Thank you for agreeing with us,
I've never
Joey.
seen it. I've never seen that movie. Have to
Oh,
check it out.
bro,
I do
that was
love Tommy Lee Jones, so
listen. You can't not love Tommy Lee Jones. It's not only because he's entertaining, but also because he looks down on everyone. Just looks at you, and you're like, I feel bad. I feel like I've made bad choices, and which is fair because we all have.
that's just old Texans, man. That's how they are.
Also, just old Texans. That's fair. So, one of the things here that we're going to be using is also a ready-made pie shell. Now, making a fresh pie shell is a wonderful thing. There are a million different recipes, and if you have the time, it is something you definitely should try to it. If you live in the real world, you do not have that kind of time, and it is a nightmare. Joey says there are tits in the first 15 minutes of Under Siege, and they're wonderful. Let's be honest. So, but I digress. When it comes to
That's
our
not really something that like makes a movie for me though. Like if I want tits, I can just go get like go pull up Pornhub or like text a single mother. Like you know, like if I want to watch a movie, like tits are fine. I mean, it's not. It doesn't break a movie, but it doesn't make it either.
and now everyone knows Cole's a liar. To be very clear.
Or
Yeah.
gay, probably.
Well, a little bit. I have made edible pie shells. Pie shells should be edible for cheesecake. Also good.
It's not a graham cracker pie, though, is it?
Tits make the movie, bro. Shit. Yeah, well, that's fair. Also, she's also in the rest of the movie too. She is actually a real actress, and she's very attractive. She is a hottie.
Joey, it's not a graham cracker pie shell, is it?
Which one? The one that Joey made that's edible?
Yeah. Well, I'd hope it's edible.
Well, 50-50, right? I feel like half of Joey's stuff was edible, but it's like technically, like you could eat it, you won't die. But
you almost did. You almost did in my parking lot, and I'd have left you. You're foreign. I don't have to pretend like I know you.
That's also true. That's also true.
I don't think I could lift you anyway. You're a big guy. Like,
look, I am also like Mumra. Like, I'll never die. So I'll just come haunt you and look like a mummy. So
the amount of cookies you ate would have killed me for sure.
Oh, I would have killed any sort of livestock, but yeah. I've had days where all I had to eat was infused stuff. That's because you're a degenerate, and hence the name Square Table Degenerates. That's Joey. That's your whole thing. Okay.
It's also STD is the
definitely. Listen, okay, you could nudge Dino, but never lift him. Yeah, that's fair. You just have to have some pylons, like the little ones, to put around me, so people know, so they don't run over my face. Let's see. Dino is quite bovine, like some days. I don't know.
Damn, that's fucked up. We gotta go beat his ass and take his scale.
Beat him with his scale. Let's be honest. That's what he deserves.
Replace it with a good one.
Named it this so I could literally do whatever I want. Well, listen, can you though? That's the great question. So, right now, the ingredients that we've set aside, and Cole, maybe you can direct this camera, and we'll add the other camera in as well. So we have two views of Cole. There. Stop it! Turn your camera down so we can look at your cooking area. So you're such a fucking putz. Okay, so we have the cooking area. Now we have a bunch of things that have already been chopped and in process. So whatever vegetables you want to put together, we can throw in the pie shell, I guess, or whatever you want.
So my cutting board definitely looks dirty for a reason. It's because we started. Yeah. We made a quiche ahead of time just in case.
Just so everyone knows, it's not. He just lives in filth. He enjoys it. He's the type of guy he is.
That's disgusting. Don't talk about me like that. I'm trying to have bitches come over. Why would you do that to me?
Well, listen, they need to know what they're getting into.
You're fucked up. I hate you.
Joey says, bro, I am tall, white, male, a dad, and a veteran. Like, I am untouchable with privilege. That's definitely not how that works. Like, every cop is pretty much me. That's also not a good thing to promote.
You know what I didn't do for the other quiche club?
Tell me.
I did not add any seasoning to it at all.
Well, hey, you know what? You're gonna find out. It's still not that bad. So
Yeah, it's
with this
all
one,
it's egg. Egg is good, dude. Like
egg is a great equalizer. Now, so my recommendation when it comes to seasoning, everybody, and I'm gonna put this in the notes, is I personally would like salt, pepper, paprika, granulated garlic, granulated onion, and some oregano. Those would be the general spices I would use. But when it comes to vegetables, the best part about a quiche is you can throw in whatever you want. Now, Cole has gone so far as to roast some tomatoes because he's fancy like that.
when you
So
said sun dried, I was like, well, I'm not sun drying no fucking tomatoes.
you don't. Little known fact: you don't have to sun dry your own tomatoes. You could just buy already dried tomatoes.
Not anywhere I know. That's a Canada thing then.
I think it's more a California thing. But so
Wow,
whatever
that
vegetables you
sounds
want
like
to add in,
California. So speaking of which,
there we go. Some tomatoes there.
these are my roasted tomato.
Okay. Then onions, peppers, jalapenos, garlic, spinach. Do you have any spinach or mushrooms, Cole?
I do have mushrooms. I do have spinach. I have it all. I had everything on your list. I do need to cut up some onions because I forgot last time on the
No
other
problem.
piece.
That's fine.
So I'll just go ahead and cut a little bit up real quick.
Yeah, that's good.
We were a little pressed for time on the first quiche, so
I would do like 2 more slices.
two more rings. Got it.
Oh yeah. And there's everybody. When it comes to the vegetables, like you can put a heaping amount of vegetables into a quiche and it'll just fill in everywhere. It's a very forgiving recipe that we're using here, where it's just you don't have to be a rocket science or a brain surgeon for this,
Also,
or a brain
I dropped
scientist
that.
or a rocket surgeon. Either one.
I dropped that onion. Did you see that?
Listen,
Also, like the more vegetables you use, less constipated you'll be. So
listen. That is from the horse's mouth, everyone. One of those things that is beneficial is vegetables will make you fart and poop, which, if you've read any books, those are things that you should regularly enjoy.
to do, yeah.
Just to do in general, right? That's a good thing. So when it comes to terrifying everyone, use Cole's way of cutting things. That will definitely work. So we have onions.
What is wrong with the way I cut?
It just looks terrifying. I'll be honest with you, sir.
Oh, because I hold the knife like that. That's a like right up here on the blade. That's like a legitimate like.
Sure.
Every chef will tell you, do it like that, so you can cut faster. And I'm like, the first time I ever saw that, where it's like, there you go. They're like, you do it. If you do it down here, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to cut fast enough. I recommend all people who don't have culinary experience to hold it by the handle. But the way I do it is because chefs will scream at you. So
Cole just doesn't like getting screamed at, which also
I don't enjoy it. It's not my thing at all.
And those are green peppers or jalapenos?
These are jalapenos.
Jalapenos, as the young kids say. Add some jalapeno, you'll feel better. So with this, now you got to remember too, people, is that when it comes to the heat of a jalapeno, it is stored in that white membrane on the inside and the seeds. So if you can scrape those out, it's actually not that bad. Now, Cole, being the evil mastermind that he is, also has included green peppers. So when you're like, just peppers, no, it's actually jalapeno, and then you'll cry a little bit, which is fine. There's nothing.
I just love green pepper too, to be honest with you.
That's fine too. So that's garlic as well that we're adding in there. And I would guess spinach and mushrooms would be next. We have mushrooms, and if you have spinach, great. If you don't have spinach, that's fine.
I do have some. I'm going to chop it though. I'm going to chop a little bit of these mushrooms up a little bit. So they're not like fried fruits.
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, too, people, is that if you add a lot of spinach in your meals, like that is a really green vegetable, and it's really good for your digestion and all that kind of stuff. So if you're missing out on some nutrients, I think actually spinach has a lot of iron in it and a few other things that are quite good. So spinach, interestingly enough, usually like dissipates in size. So by all means, heap some spinach in here. Is a great idea, and also just better for your health. So not that spinach is any better than anything else, but it's just that just chop the crap out of it, and it'll be just in everything. So it's a lot better for you.
Yeah, a whole bag of spinach looks like after you cook it, it looks like I don't know, an ounce, like a
Yeah,
tiny little cup.
yeah, it's not much, and that's
Like
why it's really good to do in this because it will break down and like it'll do that throughout. So, okay, so we have that. That looks great. Now when it comes to the eggs, now I was always what is that? Oh yes, we said sausage. Cole loves the sausage. Everyone, in case you didn't know,
why do you say it like that?
you do love sausage, sir. You've said it multiple times. You love sausage, and we've had sausage on multiple of our dishes. So
I do. I prefer it to bacon, but the way you say it.
even when Cole made his log of meat or his meat loaf, he wanted a few extra sausages in there because he said he wanted sausages to represent.
You want me to be gay, don't you?
Well,
You're like really hoping.
we know Joey does, but that's
I'm gonna tell
okay.
your wife.
My wife knows that I am Greek, but not that Greek. So
Joey for sure.
listen, we all know that there are circumstances for every situation. Like me, I've never been to jail. I don't know what the big hullabaloo is about, but you know,
I've never been to
Joey's
jail either.
me.
I know that's a surprise to a lot of people.
So when it comes to eggs, okay, if you're having like I always am a firm believer that eggs are a great source of protein, great way to start your day. Even while I was losing a bunch of weight, a lot of times I would just have 2 or 3 boiled eggs in the morning, just as a very simple, good way to start your day. That's my opinion, and I don't care if you're a scientist. You can do whatever you want. So that being said, this has 6 eggs. Then we're putting in some oregano, salt, pepper, paprika. If you have granulated garlic, granulated onion as well, throw it in there.
Of course.
And but yeah, like 6 eggs. A lot of recipes will call for heavy cream and things like that. I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer more eggs. It's more substantial. It'll be a thicker because you can remember it's figuring out what's right for you, right? So when it comes to a quiche, you want if you're adding a lot of heavy cream and stuff like that, it's going to be a lot thicker or fluffier. Whereas the way we've made it with all the vegetables and everything, it should be fine.
Yeah, I'm not big on like I like my eggs, you know, like I like my eggs to taste like egg.
I want exactly well, and that's the thing is, oh, crushed red pepper, always delicious. Yeah, and if you want it to be spicy, we already have some jalapenos in there. Which, listen, if you clean the jalapenos off, you're gonna have a significant amount of enjoyable flavor. Parsley, yeah. Well, if you already have it, that's fine.
What are you gonna say now?
I was gonna say no, but that's fine. It's a good thing. Now, also throw in a little. He has some half and half, or we're using half and half instead of heavy cream, but use a little bit of that.
Yeah, heavy whipping cream's the way to go, but I bought it last week for the mac and cheese.
That's good.
Accidentally, I meant to get heavy whipping cream, and now we're working with it.
Little known fact too, people, is that especially if you're fasting, you can have coffee with a little bit of heavy cream. You cannot have milk. That will take you out of that situation. Oh, garlic. Oh, that's the cheese we're going to use. All right, sounds good. I like it. Which is garlic feta cheese. You're going to want to break it down as much as you can.
I was probably gonna grate it, huh?
It won't grate that well. You may just have to crumble it, or depends, right? So I'm not sure. It looks like it is crumblyable.
Pretty soft, so.
So even just break it into little chunks.
Yep.
It should be fine. But yeah,
am I using this whole thing?
Yeah, use the whole thing.
Okay.
What are you gonna do? Start being less cheesy now? God, absolutely not.
I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck up your recipe.
When it comes to cooking, everyone, you want to make sure that you're throwing in a fair mix of things because everything has flavors, right? So when you put in the right seasoning and salt and everything, it's meant to lift it up. So in this scenario, we already have some garlic that we've chopped. We have some granulated garlic in with the eggs for spices, and there's a little garlic in here. I am Greek. You can never have too much garlic. This is just how the science works. So by all means, now that you have all that, yeah, your hands are gross, but they're covered in cheese. So, chef snack. That's fine.
I told all my people 6:30, so
They're starting to show up. So.
Yeah, they probably all about showing up right about now.
That's fine. Yeah, we are a little bit early, guys. I am doing a show out in one of the neighboring cities. So,
So that's why I stalled just a little tiny bit.
no, absolutely. So, essentially, what we're doing here is we are mixing in all the cheese with the eggs and all the spices, all one shot. And then we're going to be pouring them over all the filling that we've already set up with the other side. Okay.
Yeah, if anybody's showing up now, you will be able to watch it later, too. So
Yeah.
So
By all means, these things are happening. So.
There's that egg.
Yeah, you just want to get it even. Yeah,
I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. All right, we're good.
Okay.
Safe.
So, even, yeah, throw it into those crevices. You want to be, listen, you want this thing to be filled with egg, but at the same time, you got to be careful, right? So, that's why, like, especially with this, where it's got so much of the spinach, those leaves are going to break down. So don't be too worried about that kind of stuff, everyone. But you want it substantial amount of egg in there because it just leaks through and just binds everything together. So it's a good process. It works out quite well.
I don't wash all these dishes for my sink to be fucking full still.
Well, listen, that's going to be how that goes. Now, do you want to check the oven and see how that's going already?
Bullshit, you know.
Yeah. We have
whatever.
This one looks better than the one that's in the oven right now, guys, but it's definitely, there's one going for the magic of movie and film or whatever. So you may want to, yeah, you're going to want to cover a little bit of the edges, guys, just because that way your rim of your pie shell won't burn, because you're looking at a cook time of around 30 to 45 minutes.
Right. So, Dino was yelling at me when I did it this way. He was saying, "No, you idiot!" But he wanted me to take a tiny little baby strips and go all the way around. Fuck all that.
You know, Cole's mean to me, everyone. Cole's very mean to me.
I'm the mean one.
Definitely, you're the mean one.
I think that's believable in the eyes of the court, but we all know that's not true.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Everybody, if you pull up my Twitter, it's totally used as evidence against me. But that's not who I really am in real life.
No, well, listen, both Cole and I are dead inside. So, with regards to being who we are just pretending to be real people at this point.
I'm just assholes on the internet because there's no accountability on there.
Well, until there is, and then that's going to be a very fun and exciting time of our lives when everyone's held accountable. It should be interesting. How is the other one looking?
The other one's got about a minute left.
Okay.
Before
is it raised up? Like, does it look like it's popping up?
It's starting to. It's not quite done though.
All right, that's good. It's all right. So now we know.
Should I fill the aluminum off of the other one?
I would, yeah. Just be careful. So the whole idea, everyone, is that when you're here, I'm going to go big screen so you guys can see this. So when you're making a pie, what you want to do is cover the edges with some aluminum foil, because that means that in the last like 10, 15 minutes, you can take that off and then it'll get nice and brown and crusty like everything else. But if you leave it off the whole time, that part will burn fairly quickly. You want to throw that back in the oven there, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was just peeling the bullshit off. Super hot.
Oh, yeah. I told him earlier, I'm like, I hope you have gloves because that thing's going to be super hot. And it is still super hot. So, that's don't make that sound with me, sir. But that is it. And that's going back in the oven, probably for another 15 minutes. But the idea is this, guys. When it comes to something like a quiche, you can have the ready-made pie shells in the freezer. That's good to go. And if you're doing it from frozen, then it gives you a lot more freedom when it comes to having to wrap the corners and things like that. But basically what you're doing is you're minimizing the time that would be exposed to direct heat. and that way they won't burn necessarily, but it'll still be very tasty.
Yeah, I fucked up. I let the pie crust thaw because I don't know how to bake. I'm not a baker whatsoever.
No,
Everything
that's
I
the
know
thing.
about cooking, I know equally the opposite as much baking.
And look, and remember, people, when it comes to baking, there is nothing wrong with trying things out. Like this whole idea with baking show is both myself and Cole are the type of people who have gorged ourselves on food many a times. A lot of times in the middle of the night, and it was totally worth it. So,
Hell, sometimes even like yesterday. You know,
so I actually did that yesterday too. I took a day off from working out and I ruined it myself. But that being said, when it came to the quiche, the idea is that you can just throw in everything you have when it comes to vegetables and things, throw some eggs in there, mix it up, some spices, and you're good to go. So Cole, how about you teach us how to make a lemon drop?
all right. So this is actually a lemon drop martini. It's not
Ooh.
quite the same thing as the shot, but I already did my little rim. This is the closest. God damn, I got eggs all over my fucking fingers. It's all over. It's gross fast. But this is my start. I got a little apple in there because like why not?
He's
Um,
fancy. He's fancy people.
I'm gonna start with my little pitcher, so we could do that. I have been drinking this entire time, so it's probably not recommended I make a pitcher, but that's the kind of night I'm gonna have tonight.
Well, luckily, when I came, so last time, guys, I had the luxury of trying the buffalo mac and cheese as I was in the state of Ohio while it was happening, and I'll tell you, it was delicious. So what I did though was I brought Cole a bottle of alcohol because I feel like he needs a little joy that way. But this is what I brought him, and now it is going to bite me in the ass again. So hilariously, we are making this up. So, uh, three very full hands, but very small sized hands using
Why
it
don't they
to.
take from my hands, motherfucker? Trying to
I,
catch them? See how it is. They move fast. They tiny, but they move fast.
well, listen, that's also an important part of this thing, right? So we
Uh,
have that going. We have the vodka citron absolute, and a lot of it.
decent amount. You know, you don't want to go too heavy on it.
Well, listen, if we're gonna go heavy, might as well go heavy with the booze.
So
Lemon.
I got lemonade. It asked for lemon juice, but I was like, yeah, I'll just go lemonade. Like, fuck it. You know.
Listen, skip the middleman, jump right to the lemonade. I like it.
And then one of the big things was like orange liqueur. You can get triple sec, you can get Cointreau, but for the lovely ladies watching today, I decided to get blue carousel. It's orange liqueur. It's just blue, but
Listen,
it makes it blue.
it works. People love blue. It makes them feel important. That's fair.
Boom, solid.
And that is how a mixologist mixes a pitcher. There you go. Up close and personal, we have lemon, we have apple, and we have a blue lemon drop because we're fancy people.
This isn't quite a martini glass. That's actually a little big ass glass. This is the closest thing I can find to it. So I'm gonna call it the Brotini glass.
Well,
This
hey,
is a big ass martini glass. So I'm
it is
honest with
a
you.
big ass martini
It took
glass.
like a half a pitcher.
Well, take a zip. Let us know how it is. It's definitely alcohol.
That's fucking delicious, bro.
And delicious, which is exactly what you want from your alcohol, people. You want it to be delicious.
Oh my god.
Well,
That's tasty.
he doesn't believe in God, so don't use that. But you know, it's definitely delicious. It's hey, what's up, Robert? Nice. Hey,
Oh, we got a new watcher.
hey,
What's up, Robert? How you doing, man?
Robert SV. He's obviously a good-looking man and likes
Do you like
cooking.
alcohol and quiche?
We're making quiche, and we've just had our alcohol. So now we're using the magic of a stove to heat up the quiche.
We got about 10 minutes.
We have about 10 minutes going.
The other one's done.
Yes.
You see my fucking new
Oh, it looks like an
air
alcoholic
fryer?
cigarette.
We're
Bro,
gonna have to use that next week. Figure out
that's yeah.
something.
Alcohol, yes. Quiche, man. Well, listen, if you, Robert, you never know. This quiche might be delicious, and then it'll change your life. And then
It's
you could
okay,
go
Robert. Nobody's
alcohol
perfect.
and quiche. Who doesn't love that?
Everybody's got their flaws, Robert.
Listen, we are definitely going to be doing some recipes with the air fryer. We just made spring rolls this past weekend, and they were really good. Like, it's not that hard because like quiche, you can just put whatever you want in there and then throw it in the air fryer. It's not that bad. So
I've made egg rolls before and spring rolls. I worked. I was sous chef when I was sous chef. I was sous chef in a Thai restaurant. So
yeah,
we have to incorporate a little bit of that. We could do some. I'm sure
yeah.
you probably know way better recipes than I do, with your wife being Chinese. Is that right?
Are we all cooks? Well, we all have all been in the vicinity of cooking, and we are all too fat to have not eaten. Let's call it that, Robert. Like, none of us have skipped a meal by accident. We're like, I've decided to skip a meal, or it's food time. To be honest with you, Cole, a lot of the times when it comes to recipes, I am the type of guy who will definitely cook with his gut as to what I'm feeling, right? So
That's kind of what I do too.
yeah, like realistically, I think that there are definite reasons why we hunger for things, right? So I'm always of the opinion that I'm like, hey, if that's what I want to eat, I'm going to eat it, whether you like it or not. Now, the problem is it gets out of hand when it's like, I want to eat an entire beef tenderloin. Like, it's not a bad idea, but you're not going to poop for 3 days. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things, right?
Um, as much I do like. I don't. I'm not trying to like dunk on you necessarily when I say that I come from like an educational background as far as cooking goes, so I know a lot of stuff. But
Yeah,
I hate like authentic traditional cuisine. I like more
yeah.
modernized versions of dishes better than the old school way, if I'm honest.
Well, listen, and I think that's the key here with what we're trying to build is that there's always a specific way for things to be made, and finding out the easiest way is more so our style.
Yeah,
Because
make it
honestly,
get it to my mouth
yeah,
fast and tasty.
it's fusion, sure, why not?
Similar,
It's
yeah. I guess you would call it that. It's more. It's
it's
very alcoholic,
it's
like in
well,
a way, like a drunkard. Not
it's
not that there's alcohol in the food, but I'm drunk.
yes,
That's why we call it hammered and cheese.
that's why we call it hammered and cheese.
But it's like imagine a drunk guy who's hungry but doesn't want to
Yeah.
just go to Wendy's. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's think of it this way. If you've been dropped off at home, you have groceries, but you're too hungry. So the question is, can you cook? Right. And that's why all of these recipes are fairly self-explanatory with regards to how to connect the dots. And once you have connected the dots, it's just not that bad. Right.
So also, I really like one of my favorite things
Also,
to
that's all
do.
cooked. Also, that's
It's all.
fair.
It's
Yeah.
true. True
We're
enough.
pretty, yeah, that's, yeah, definitely. Red flag.
Line cooks, especially.
Bro, you know what? I remember the closest I ever to working in a kitchen for myself was that I was a waiter, and which is nowhere near. But I've always loved food, so when I was there, I would always ask them questions, and they'd be like, "Hey, try this," and I'm like, "No," and they're like, "No, no, no, I need to know if it's hot enough." I'm like, "I'm sure it is." They're like, "No, come on, help out." So every cook has a habit. Well, listen, some worse than others.
Some
Let's
have
call them.
multiple habits.
Some of them are collecting them like the Infinity Gauntlet. That's they're going a little fur.
No,
But
dude, as a waiter, you made the right move to not try nothing because cooks legitimately hate waiters. Like that's a
oh
legit.
yeah,
There's beef between those two, like on the real, and it's
yeah,
more so on the cook side than it is on the waiter side. And you being a
yeah,
guy, especially, because
yeah.
like cooks will probably have more of a tender heart for the females than we will the men.
Well, because you're all perverts. Let's just start there.
Right,
First of
right,
all.
right. So yeah, you were
I'm
right to not try nothing.
yeah, yeah, no, and that was the one thing was after a while, I stood up to the general manager because he was a prick, and everyone and the cooks. I stood up against him on behalf of the cooks, and I was a waiter, and they were like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't, because he was fatter than me, and I'm like, oh no, 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 if you're fatter than me, you've let yourself go, sir. You're gonna let yourself go, and it was just one of those things. It's because oh my god, dude, yes, yeah.
It
That's
is
just
because of the tips, 100%. Because everybody else is making, well, probably a little more than I was when I was cooking, but everybody else is making $12 an hour, and then
so.
the server gets a steak at the end of the night. I mean, we just want to punch that bitch.
Yeah, well, and the worst is, have you ever seen? I'm sure you've seen this. I've only saw it once, where one of the wait staff got a meal and then complained about the meal, and I
Oh
was
yeah, that
like,
happens.
I just looked at her,
Here
and
and
I'm
there.
like, oh,
That happens.
you're a dummy, and she's like, why? And I'm like, none of your meals are ever going to be right in this restaurant again, just so you know, because you're a garbage person. And she was like, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you are. And sure enough, she
I
quit.
mean, she did pay for it, but at the same time,
She didn't. She
why
was
did you
doing,
eat here? You work
yeah.
here.
Also, well, it was a rib and wing place, and I'm like, yeah, rib and wing combo. I'm like, I'm just gonna eat that because I'm fat.
If it's
Sure.
free, that's one thing. But
How about you check on that second or the first one?
got it. I can
All right.
start. I'm starting to smell it, so it is
Well,
getting close.
so there's a good chance it's getting there.
Oh, right in my face.
Well, listen, that's what she said.
It is what she said. All right. You know more about Quiche than me.
That's well. Let me look. Yeah, maybe a little bit, a couple more minutes, just to brown out the top.
I still have 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Is that good, or should I add more time?
No, the 3 minutes will be fine.
Done.
That will be the first one that's going to be coming out. Should be fine.
Also, add more lemonade to the
Add more
recipe.
lemon.
If you want to copy my recipe, add more lemonade because this is not lemonade enough. Lemonade-y enough.
Well, so two things, people, is when you need lemon juice. Okay, there are three things: is fresh squeezed lemon is one thing, lemon juice is another thing, and lemonade is a third thing.
Oh, and that's a sugar rim, not a salt rim, by the way.
You're just an animal at this point, sir. That looks good and dangerous. Also true. Also true. That's a reasonable
This is
conclusion.
blue curacao vodka and lemonade. So
Yeah.
it tastes pretty good. It's kind of similar to a hurricane almost.
I've never had a hurricane, sir.
Oh boy, we're going to New Orleans. We're going to see my sister, dude. My sister lives like an hour from New Orleans. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there next summer, next spring, next summer. We're gonna go there. You're gonna have your first hurricane. Don't have a hurricane till then.
Yeah, well, I promise.
We're gonna have a New Orleans hurricane. New Orleans, you can walk around with a drink in your hand. It's fucking awesome.
Listen, you presume that I can walk.
Oh, you can't. You can't. Oh, you've been in shape by then. Come on, man. You doing all that.
Sounds like a coma. Also true.
Dino is doing an exercise thing on his channel. If you guys aren't familiar,
yeah.
So definitely check out his stuff. You'll be in shape by then. Come on, man.
Well, listen. So just so people understand, before the pandemic, you're dripping everywhere, sir. Drink faster.
I am.
Same with Vegas. Yeah, Vegas.
It's like also good pussy.
It's like you'd know.
I would.
To Cole, good pussy is just available. That's it. That's where it starts.
Probably true.
A little bit.
That's probably 100% true.
But yeah, so listen, everyone. I started at the pandemic. At the beginning of the pandemic, I started and I was 500 pounds. Now I am a very modest 260 pounds. And now I'm trying to swap out what fat I have left with muscle. So I am trying to be healthy. It's not going very well, but hey, something's happening. You go to the Bronx for that. Well, listen, that's also fair.
I'm down. I'd go to the Bronx too. I haven't been there since I was a little kid. So. Oh, and when Dino started his weight loss journey, I was a modest 255 pounds, and now that he's lost his weight, I'm a 260. So.
We're changing places. But goal, can you get to the big 5-0? That's the real. Listen, if you, hey, I highly don't recommend hitting 500 pounds to everybody. Just in general.
I was 300 pounder at one point. It's not for me.
So people understand I was 300 pounds in high school. It's not like 300 pounds and I'm like, I look good. At 300 pounds, I am top tier, right? If anything, I'm an athlete at 300 pounds.
I was 300 pounds at my divorce.
The guy, what my target weight was, your like, oh, I need to make some life choices, which I find hilarious, because like I like blew through that and then like just kept on going, and I'm like, let's see how fat I can get. I do miss being fat every once in a while, but so that one has come out of the oven.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look here. All right, everyone.
So how do we eat this?
You cut it like a pie. And Robert says, I am a 300 pounder. I was 380, got down to 309, but I don't look 309, but I definitely feel it. Listen, bro.
Hey, Robert, less is less, no matter what size you are.
Don't worry about the numbers and stuff. It's about feeling better. Because you know what? A friend of mine, he visited today. He's getting married this weekend, and he's gone through some weight loss. He went from 213 down to 185. And he's feeling fantastic. Oh yeah, you got to take pictures of this thing, right?
I almost forgot.
That's all right. There you go. You may want to take it from a different angle because you are, there you go. Now you have lights. Magic. But yeah, so he lost from 213 to like 180, 185, and he's looking fantastic for his wedding. But also too, like, there are a lot of stuff. Like for me, if you check out my channel, so it's Dino the Genetic Marvel right here, and there are 2 series that I have on there. One is called Where Did the Rest of Me Go, which is where I explain kind of the mindset I use, then the food, and then also fasting were the 3 things that I changed. Then I also did another one after that, which is the I forget what it was called, something about consequences of my own actions type of thing. And that was me restarting because I went on vacation, ate like a fucking pig, and then proceeded to come back. Now, Cole, did it feel like it was it's fully cooked?
I don't know.
Well, you got it one slice out. How does it look?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right. Can you show a cross section, sir?
So full disclosure, Dino.
Yeah.
I know I acted like I've had quiche before, but I've never had quiche before.
I know. That's okay. Well,
you're like, I can tell.
Can I see the cross section of the actual quiche?
It fell apart a little bit.
That's okay. Turn the pie a little bit so I can see the inside of it. Nope, the full pie, not your slice.
I mean, where's my?
Just turn. Yeah, there you go.
I'm drunk, bro. So.
All right, everybody. So that looks nice.
Is it done?
Did you? Yeah, it looks done.
Okay.
It's done enough. Did you send me the pictures on?
I did. Yeah.
The book face.
I hope I sent it to you, not somebody else.
You have not sent it to me. Let me just double check here.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
You sent it to me. You sent it to me. One is just your face, so that's good. That's a good one. Don't worry, everyone. You will see that one as well. All right.
Oh, don't show everybody that one.
I'm definitely showing that one because it's got his wiener on it, people.
I gotta take 2 trips. I got a lot in my hand here.
Okay. The food porn. That's exactly what we're doing now there, Robert. Let's see here. And downloads.
My drink? My drinky drink? Thank you. This is my first quiche.
So,
I've ever made.
Robert says very nice because let's be honest, Robert's being very kind and thoughtful.
He's being very nice.
The first picture that Cole sent me, everyone, just so you guys know, is that one, which is all neckbeard.
I accidentally took a picture of my face.
Just a picture of his face. And then he turned the camera around and we got our thumbnail. And that's the winner right there. So as things goes, thanks guys for being awesome. I got up to here for my other job. Later. See you later, Robert. Have a great one. We're back every week. So by all means, come back. Let's see here.
There we go.
Let me just add this bad boy. And
that's good egg pie.
It's good egg pie, right?
Good egg pie.
There you go. You're a man of quiches now, sir.
I didn't know it was this easy. I thought everybody always makes it sound hard.
You know what? I think that's the one thing that we've learned there, Cole, is that everyone wants to make it sound hard, but nobody wants to work after it is hard. So
It's not
that's
hard. It's easy. You just get a pie crust and then you throw egg in it.
basically with a bunch of whatever you want in there. So
And this is the bland one. I can't wait till the fucking flavorful one comes out of the oven.
alrighty here, and I'm just gonna put
This
that
one's
in
good.
the
Jesus.
background.
Oh my god. This is so good.
Amen. There and
Fuck.
well, welcome to Quiche.
Oh, this is the lifestyle change right here.
So why don't you show some of the food as well, please, so people can live in the joy of it all. That you finish it. Go get another slice
Okay.
and check on the other pie. In the
It's
meantime,
got like 30 minutes. That one's gonna be a while.
listen, you just go do as I say, sir, or I punch you in the nuts.
Bitch.
Well, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
No,
sir?
I wouldn't like that. Why would I like to get punched in the nuts? Why does everybody think I'm gay in the weirdest way?
Listen, so everyone can see, we have added quiche to our thumbnail as well because we are technologically savvy. Let's call it that. In the meantime, we have this, and things are happening.
But it could use like some kind of sauce. Like, don't get me wrong, this is perfect. It's good, but like, if it had some kind of like dipping sauce, this would be like, oh my god.
To be very clear, remember the other one has seasoning as well.
That's fair. That's what it is. That's what it is.
So
The other one, I totally got like we were rushing. We were like, I gotta make one first, so we don't have to wait for 45 fucking minutes. Blah blah blah. Do nothing. And then I forgot to season the first one. So
yeah. Well, listen, everyone. Just so you know, is that so you understand the most is that it is extremely forgiving, and one of the best parts about it is that you can do as you please. It's very reasonable.
well, not only that, but I had like 2 of these like martinis before Dino even like popped in on me. So that might have contributed to why
Just a little bit, people. Just a
I
little bit.
forgot.
That's all right. That's okay. But
Hmm.
you show us. There we go. So even lift up your so we can get a real good cross section of it. You see, that doesn't even have the spinach or anything like that in there.
Right?
So people, just so you understand what we're working with here, but it is top tier.
It is delicious.
Okay? That's kind of how we roll around here. Lovely and delicious.
I'm gonna eat both of these.
Yeah. Well, the best part is you can save it for tomorrow, and it makes for a good breakfast. It's like I'm just letting you know. Listen, everybody.
Do you see this? This is liquid bottomless pit.
Well, hey, that's how pits go. Add liquid, they become bottomless. That's how it works. So as quiches go, this is the preliminary one. We haven't even gotten the final one. We're gonna need pictures of that as well. So
Yeah.
do your best.
I want some pictures when it comes out.
But is it a yay or is it a nay? It's a thumbs up, which translates to a definite yay, everyone.
It's solid, bro.
There you go. Now you know.
And if you suck at making pie crust, just do what I did and buy the great value pie crust from the frozen section
Hey,
from Walmart.
number one, if it's a pre-made pie crust, there's a very good chance it is the exact same one in all of the boxes. Doesn't matter how much you spend. Just to be very clear. Number two, a pie crust. Listen, the pie crust is just the delivery method. What you put in it is what I would rather spend more money on the ingredients as opposed to the pie crust, because the pie crust is just a simple thing. right? So I would
Yeah, let
definitely,
somebody else do the hard part.
yeah. And pie crusts are finicky and hard. And when you buy it, so if you do it where it's frozen or at least mid thaw when you put it in, there's a less likelihood that you're going to burn the edges of it, or that it's going to get soggy in the bottom and stuff like that. It's easier. It's made to be easier. It's one of those things that it does actually make your life a little bit easier. So it's worth doing. Cole, you look like you're not even there. I feel like you.
Yeah, it just hit me, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, this fucking alcohol just all hit me.
It was a lot. So, in the meantime, everyone, so you can see this is our episode 5 quiche with the quiche there. I've
Bro,
already
that's a
sent it to
beautiful
you.
crop job in like
Well,
no time at all.
hey, technology, baby. That's how it works. So, in the meantime, everyone, please like this episode, share it with your friends and family, even also use it to make your own quiche by all means. But in the meantime, we're going to be
Show your
back
friends
next
and
week.
family.
Show your friends and family, share it on your page, do whatever you have to do. Leave us a
Like
comment.
and subscribe.
That's also a thing.
Well, although
To
you
both our
probably
feeds.
already subscribed, to be honest with you.
But if you haven't, now you have an opportunity to do more. So feel free. I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel. That's Cole. That is Cole Clayton. He's Sniffing Glue _22 on YouTube and Sniffing Glue 22 on every other platform. Check it out. Follow us by all means. If you have anything you want us to cook, let us know. Hey, Liberty.
Hey, that's my
Clay.
sister.
What's up?
That's the one we were just talking about, going to New Orleans to see.
Just so you know, Liberty, we are coming to visit you at some point, and shenanigans will ensue with regards to cooking and tomfoolery, because we are going to cook while we're down there, and it's going to be a mess. So, just an FYI. In the meantime, everyone, enjoy some quiche and have a wonderful day. Cole, you got anything else to add?
See you next week.
Bye, everyone.